haven't you played the game in the last 9 years?
I just played it. Okay, I'm sorry. Generic intro on theduckgoesmoo here, back with another game theory video. I actually just recorded one of these, but it was for FNAF. But today we're doing Portal 2 Does Chell Die? I recently beat Portal 2 just the other week, and the videos are up on my gaming channel. I stream it on Twitch on Saturdays. I didn't stream it this past Saturday because I beat the game, and I'm actually about to do Portal 2 co-op for the first time ever. Hopefully this doesn't have any spoilers for that, but I'm doing Portal 2 co-op for the first time ever, and I'm being joined by my cousin who I grew up playing video games with, and has introduced me to a lot of video games, and is much more cultured than I am, but he has never played a Portal game before. That's kind of ironic because of the whole, you know, he's more cultured than I am, but he's never played Portal. I only recently played Portal, absolutely loved it. Like I said, it's on the gaming channel. There's a playlist on my channel. I'll probably put that link down below in the description. I don't know if I can point that up there. If it's up here, then it's because I was able to put the playlist up there. But you can go through ahead and binge through all that. Like I said, I stream them on Twitch on Saturdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have listened to the ending and the ending credit song so many times. I listen to it at the gym sometimes because it is that good. Unfortunately, I had to mute it in a YouTube video because it would get copyright claimed, and I didn't want them to put 30 mid-roll ads in the video because that's what YouTube does, and it's very unfortunate. But a lot of people tell me to watch this video. I'm really excited to watch it. I hope you are too. I got to make a video go live here in a second. Shout out to the patrons. I couldn't do this if it was not for them. They allow me to not have a paywall on my channel. They allow me to make as many people smile as I do, because that's why I make as many videos as I do, because maybe you're having a rough day and maybe you need to escape for a couple minutes. So thank you so much for clicking the video. I do read every single comment, leave them down below. But let's go ahead and jump into Portal 2 Does Chell Die? Alright. Space!
Test results. You are a horrible person. That's
Gladys is always flirting with me, dude.
Person.
I recently beat Portal 2. Playlist in the description. I'll be playing it. This Saturday, I'll be streaming Portal 2 co-op for the first time.
And not just because I'm stranded in space.
Matt Bat. Hello. Space! Got explored all.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to
I've listened to that.
Just call us the
ending so
absurd
much.
logic core to your YouTube watch habits. Before we get any further,
Well, yeah.
spoiler warning, we're going to be talking about the ending of Portal 2. If that matters to you,
Yeah.
then why haven't you played the game in the last 9 years? I mean,
I
its
just played it.
base
Okay, I'm
price
sorry.
is $10, but more often than not, it's even on a discount. Heck,
Really?
I paid more than that for crappy indie horror games. Looking at you,
Like what?
hello neighbor. Anyway, if you
Wait,
care
is
about
Hello
Portal 2
Neighbor
spoilers
crappy?
and somehow haven't already
girlfriend's
played it, or
little
heck,
brother
if it's
loves
been a while
it.
since you last played it, go spend the afternoon beating it, then come back and watch this video. Alright, everyone back? Cool. As you all
Highly
know,
recommend
since you
it.
all took my advice and just
Hopefully it
played
doesn't
the
have
game,
spoilers for the co-op.
obviously Portal 2 has you playing the role of test subject 1498,
Chell.
aka Chell, or
Chell.
I'm gonna
I
call
say
her
Chell.
Chell. There's an unused voice line of GLaDOS actually saying her name, and that's the way she pronounces it. As far as how you pronounce GLaDOS, Gladys, apparently is a viable option.
No, GLaDOS.
At least in the Wikipedia page. These sorts of things make me so tired. Anyway, you play as Chell and wakes up in a stasis chamber in the Aperture Science Research Facility. You then spend the rest of the game trying to
this
escape
game's
with
so
the
much
help
fun.
of your handy dandy
I can't wait to do
portal
co-op.
gun. This time there are various tweaks
Like I
to
said,
the
this
format,
Saturday,
like
for
the
someone that's
inclusion
never
of gels
played.
that boost your speed or bounce you around.
Oh, that
but
puzzle was
overall,
fun.
it's the same basic premise as the first game. Solve physics-based puzzles to escape. But in
Yeah.
order to make it back to the surface, you first have to team
Nebraska.
up with your former nemesis GLaDOS to defeat the
Potato.
corrupted AI named Wheatley. Now, that
Is he even
alone
corrupted?
would be cool. Enemies being forced to work together is always a solid plotline for a
Goku and
story.
Frieza?
But what's even more
What is that,
incredible
Tournament
is
of Power?
the way that you defeat Wheatley in that final boss battle. When everything seems
Yeah.
lost, Chell looks up through a hole in the crumbling ceiling.
And it takes
and out of
2.6 seconds,
desperation,
which is
shoots
exactly
a
how long it takes for
portal
light.
at the moon. Miraculously, it works, and I do mean miraculously,
Well,
considering
the
the
white
distance
gel-
that the portal would have to travel just an inch
That's
or
less
two
miles
off,
than my
and you're
car.
missing that moon by miles. Anyway, the shot lands. A portal opens
car
up
has
on the moon,
270,000?
exposing them all to the vacuum of space.
Space!
Wheatley, several AI cores, and Chell get sucked through the hole until GLaDOS reaches out
Uh-huh.
and saves the day. She begrudgingly
Chell was
delivers us to
trying
the
to
surface and demands that we
reach out
never
for-
return, which I gotta admit is kind of a
Aw,
fair
and that was the
request,
first
considering
GameCube.
we've now completely destroyed 2 of her testing
But yeah, the white gel
facilities.
is
And of course,
moon
there's
stuff.
a catchy song to round it all
Uh-huh.
out. Now, that moment
Notice
where
I
you
didn't
look
play
up
it.
into
It's
the sky
copyright.
and see the moon and realize that you can create a portal there is one of the coolest reveals in video game history. No joke.
Look at
I
his face.
remember that scene. I was like, wait, you want me to shoot it on the moon?
Oh,
And the
he's
game
dead.
actually
Oh my
does an
God, that
incredible
meme.
job of setting this
So
moment up.
relevant.
Earlier in the game, we learned via various lore dumps that moon
Moon
dust
is
is the
por-
thing that allows walls to be portable in
Or
the
the
first
white
place.
gel.
No, portable would mean that I could carry
Wait, is it?
walls. Portalable? Portalable.
I don't know if
Sure,
every
just gonna
white
go
wall
with
is
that
made
one.
out of moon
The
dust.
bean counters told me we
Cave
literally could
Johnson.
not afford to buy $7 worth of moon rocks, much less 70 million. Bought them anyway, ground them up, mixed them into a gel. And guess what? Turns out they're a great portal conductor.
But that final scene does
Turns
lead
out
to
they
some
are. So what
interesting
was the
questions
other
from a
ones?
science perspective, which, let's be honest, is a valid perspective to take in a video game where all you do is physics puzzles in various
so much
scientific
fun.
testing chambers. For
Going
instance,
mock
when you,
Jesus.
Wheatley, and the other AI cores are getting sucked into the vacuum of space, should you really be able to hear their voices? Or anything, for that matter, when you're in space?
Let go, I'm still...
And more importantly,
Would
how
you?
did Chell manage to survive her 28
Maybe because there was oxygen running
before
through?
GLaDOS rescued her?
28
Shouldn't her
seconds?
lungs have collapsed in the vacuum of space? Or
You'd
should
probably be
they
able to
have, like,
survive
burst
28
like
seconds
a
in space.
balloon? I'm really
You'd be
not
very
sure
injured.
what should have happened in the scene, and I'm really curious to find out. I recognize that this feels like one of those moments where you're just supposed to suspend your disbelief and not think too hard about the science.
Yeah.
Well, pshaw to that I say, shut off your brains and stop worrying about the science. If
You
game
should.
theory as a show has a motto, it's whatever the opposite of that is. So, turn your brain on and do worry about the science.
No,
because when
it's
you
a fun
actually
game.
Look at what's going on in the scene. Well, this iconic gaming
Also,
moment
of all
actually
places that you
holds up
land.
better than you would think.
Also,
with
Crusoe
one
went to the moon.
big difference that completely changes the ending. So today, I'm gonna show you the true ending of Portal 2, and I guarantee it's not what you're thinking. Let's start by dispelling a
I'm
common
in
myth about
Nebraska.
what happens when you're exposed to the vacuum of space. It's
You can
not
survive a
a
little while.
case of instant
No.
death. Experiments conducted on animals and humans, no joke, have shown that people can survive exposure to space's vacuum conditions.
Not for very
What do you
long.
think it must
It'll
have
be
been
very
like for the
bad.
human test subjects involved in those experiments? Oh, we're pretty sure you'll survive the vacuum of space, but we just have to test.
I don't
It's
think
the
anybody's
type of
died in
experiment
space.
That would make GLaDOS proud. Anyway, not
Maybe?
only
I
can
don't know.
humans survive,
There was some
but we
Russians
can
that had, like,
survive
a
for
leak or
few
something.
minutes. Former NASA
On
astronaut
re-entry or
Jay
something.
Bucky, who now works as a professor at Dartmouth Medical School, wrote about this subject in a book titled Space Physiology, which has everything you need to know about surviving in space, but we're too afraid to ask. Now, surviving in vacuum conditions isn't going to be pleasant. Under low pressure conditions, any air that's in your lungs will expand outward,
Bad.
causing your lungs to inflate like balloons. And
Bad
I'm not
times.
talking about like fun birthday party
No,
balloons.
like-
These balloons are going to be causing you severe internal tissue damage.
Yeah.
So, as counterintuitive as this might seem, if you're going to spend a few seconds in the vacuum of space, don't take a deep breath. You want your lungs as empty as possible to prevent any gas expansion. It's weird, right? It's
That makes
actually
sense.
the reverse of going underwater. But that's not the only
Oh,
stress
God.
you're going to be
That
under.
is
As
right.
you may have heard, the human body is around 60% water, and that water content matters
Mine's
because when
60%
exposed to vacuum
vitamin
conditions,
water, but
lower
okay.
pressure means lower boiling point. You might remember from science class that the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius,
What's
right?
Celsius?
Well, as air pressure goes down, the temperature needed to boil water also goes down. At an elevation
Yeah.
of 8,000 feet or 2,400 meters, roughly the size of a small to medium mountain, the air pressure is low enough
I
that
don't know if
water
that's a
now boils at a
medium
temperature
mountain.
of 92 degrees Celsius, so 8 degrees less than it is at sea level. What
Huh.
happens in the vacuum of space where air pressure drops to 0? Well, the boiling point of water drops so low that the liquids in your body can start to vaporize. In your soft tissues,
Yeah,
this
wouldn't your, like,
means
tongue
bloating.
explode or something?
Fortunately, for at least the first few minutes, your skin is strong enough to keep
Minutes.
you from completely bursting apart, but, well, let's just say when we're talking about how long you can last without bursting apart, you can assume that it's not going to be a comfortable couple
No.
of minutes. By
No.
the way, when people ask me why I never want to go into space, this is the reason why.
What, being-
Space is like just terrifying as
Uh-huh.
is, and the methods of dying in space are just
There's
the
a lot of
worst.
them. There's
your lungs
countless.
are blowing up like balloons. The water content in your body is making you swell to the point of bursting. Oh yeah, and that boiling also applies to your blood. Bubbles forming inside your individual veins and arteries would block the flow of blood around your body, effectively shutting off your circulation in 1 minute.
Yep.
After that, it takes about 15 seconds for the lack of blood flow to the brain to result in unconsciousness. Which
So
at
we're
this
literally
point,
just talking
let's be
about the moon
honest, is a
exposure-
mercy.
exposure?
And while it would take several minutes after that
play
for you to
Mercy.
die, well, once you're unconscious, you're basically at the mercy of whatever other person or AI might be able to rescue
GLaDOS.
you. Thanks for that one, GLaDOS. Now, back to
Yeah.
Portal 2. We see that Chell
Well,
spends
I mean, that
exactly
was,
28
what,
seconds in
Carolyn
the vacuum of space.
saving us?
Honestly, she's probably safe. In one 1965 study, dogs were exposed to near vacuum
Aw.
conditions for 90 seconds and survived. After being returned to natural pressure conditions, it only took about 10 to 15 minutes for the dogs to be steady enough on their feet to start walking around
That's
again.
good.
Chimpanzees can even do better. Studies conducted by NASA in 1965 and 1967.
I don't think they'd be able to
most
do that these
chimpanzee
days, would
test
they?
subjects could survive up to 3.5 minutes in vacuum
Without permanent
conditions.
damage?
Follow-up tests conducted months later even showed that the chimps suffered 0 lasting brain damage
Okay,
or
no
loss of
hypoxia.
cognitive function. All of this is to say that Chell surviving for half a minute in the vacuum of space, like we see at the end of Portal 2, isn't
And also,
just
you have things
possible,
flying
it's
in,
highly
like
likely. But
air,
this
oxygen.
is game theory. When have I ever concluded that a character could survive some horrific thing that happens to him in a video game? Feel kind of dirty. And yet, from a scientific perspective, it's true. The lack of air in space isn't the thing that's gonna kill her. It's the air back on Earth that's gonna do the job. You see, while Chell's literally hanging out on the surface of the moon, the
for a couple
portal is
seconds.
open. And that means that everything in the Aperture Science Testing Chamber is getting blown out into space. That includes Wheatley, the other AI cores, various lab
I don't know how
equipment,
fast it
as
was
well
moving
as
out,
the
though.
air
I guess
in
the
room
pressure
itself.
difference.
Watch the scene again. In that 20
I don't know what the air
seconds,
pressure
she
was
isn't
in
just
Aperture.
drifting calmly. She is getting blown out by the constant rush of air that's coming from the portal. Watching the scene, have you ever thought about that? She's on the moon's surface. Shouldn't the gravity of the moon be pulling her down? No, and the air coming out of the portal on Earth is why. In space, there's no air. On
No.
Earth, there's lots of air, and that creates a
pressure.
massive pressure difference. And when
And
there's a
pressure wants to go
difference,
from high to
nature
low.
rushes to balance it, meaning
Yeah.
that all the air on Earth is flooding out into space.
A crazy
now, this
pressure.
is both good news and bad news for Chell. Good news, she can still breathe. It means a lot of air is rushing past her face. Great. It also means that, yes, she would be able to hear Wheatley talking to her, which I guess is either good news or bad news, depending on how much you wish this guy would shut up by this point.
Let go, I'm still connected.
He's hilarious.
The really bad news
Oh, the
is,
writing
well,
for that game is
high-speed winds
amazing.
can be hazardous to humans, even more hazardous than the vacuum of space. In 1946, NACA, no, that's not a typo, back in 1946, more than a decade before the first satellite was ever launched into orbit, the pre-space precursor to NASA was NACA, the
did
National
it see?
Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. Anyway, in 1946, NACA conducted a
Not
test
an
to see
actual picture.
how high-speed winds would affect a human passenger, producing this highly amusing video where we see what happens to a human face when exposed
On a
to
rocket
wind
sled?
speeds of 457
Oh.
miles an hour, or 209 meters
Is
per
this a
second.
rocket sled? No, it's not a
It
rocket
just
sled.
ends with the end. on
They
screen.
die?
What? This is a
The
scientific
G's,
film. It
you're-
isn't like some cinematic masterpiece. By the way, if you're wondering, they weren't torturing this poor guy for the heck of it. Fighter pilots need to be able to eject from
Yeah.
their
Also,
planes
is
when
that a-
traveling at high
that's
speeds,
not an
and it's
F-22.
useful to know just how fast their plane can be moving while still
plane is that?
allowing them to survive being ejected.
that-
so how does
is that
that compare
French?
to the speed of the air flowing out of the portal in Portal 2? Luckily, we have everything that we need to calculate it. Based on the pressure of Earth's atmosphere and the pressure on the surface of the moon, which is almost but not quite
Well, Earth
a
has-
perfect
is it, what,
vacuum, we
14
can calculate
PSI?
that the air would be traveling at a speed of 407 meters per second.
Also, what's a meter?
910 miles
There we go.
an
There's
hour.
some freedom
That is
units.
literally double the 457 mile per hour winds that we saw in the NACA video. So, could Chell survive that? A wind speed of 910 miles an hour is equal to Mach 1.2. That
That's
is
fast.
1.2 times the speed of sound. For reference,
Well, yeah.
modern fighter jets fly at a max speed of around Mach 2.8.
That we
In
know
the
of.
real world, aircraft safety specifications state that pilots can safely eject at a rate of 870 miles per hour, or 389
Yeah, they try to avoid
meters
ejection.
a second. And while
I'm trying to
910
figure out what plane
miles
that
per
is.
hour is a little bit above that officially approved safe zone, there are a few cases of pilots ejecting at velocities higher than that and still surviving, with the record
Ejection
being
is crazy.
incredibly over Mach 3.
Who ejected at
Admittedly,
Mach
that was done
3?
using specialized protective gear. Being exposed to wind speeds of over Mach 2.6 or 1,980 miles an hour is when you have to start worrying about things like, you know, the wind being strong enough to actually tear the skin off your face. But the long and short of it is that at the wind speed she's experiencing,
I wanna hear about the
Chell
dude that
actually
ejected at
has
Mach
a
3.
decent shot of staying fine. Well, she does have to live out the rest of her life back on Earth, where things are actually kind of far from being fine these days.
Yeah,
but still, she won't
play
be
through
dying
Half-Life.
out in space
That's
anytime
also
soon,
plays on the
which
gaming
is
channel.
honestly not too far different from what they depicted in the game. Go figure that a game all about solving science puzzles actually adheres to real-world science in one of its most extreme and unbelievable cutscenes. But hey,
Goes to
that's
space, doesn't
just
die.
a
Oh,
theory.
God. Remember when that was a meme?
Game
Remember when memes were like
theory.
that?
Thanks for watching.
God.
You know what else Chell doesn't have to worry about? Her earbuds being ripped
Oh
out of her
my
ears.
God.
Provided she's using our sponsor for today's episode,
Raycon. Don't play
wireless
music.
Earbuds. You see, Raycon's everyday E25s are the shape that actually fit and stay in your ear.
There's music. Oh, God. See, game theory sometimes plays music in the background from like a massive music corporation. I literally just explained this in the game theory video I recorded just for this one. I literally just recorded a FNAF game theory video before this one, and I had to do the same thing because I had another sponsor, and in the past they've had a massive music corporation that's not related to game theory at all wait until the video went live to copyright claim a video for the song that was played in the background for the ad read. So shout out to Raycon for supporting game theory and allowing him to employ all the people that are on the team. So Chell could survive. I mean, in that case scenario, it's the only option we have. That's the best option we got, I guess. Like I said, I absolutely loved Portal 2. So much fun. I have listened to this. I've watched this video so many times because it is so good. The song is so enjoyable. Like I said, you can watch me play through the Portal games over on my gaming channel, That Goes Gaming. Like I said, playlist will be linked down below in the description. Like I said, this Thursday on Twitch, which is also linked down below, or no, this Saturday, link down below in the description, 5-7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be playing Portal 2 co-op for the first time with someone that's never played Portal, and it's going to be really, really fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope to see you there. Hope you have a wonderful rest day. Hope to subscribe to some of those future videos. I'm definitely going to do other game theory videos once I'm caught up with FNAF, like Minecraft game theory and stuff like that, and videos like this where I really, really enjoy. But I look forward to the next video. I hope to see you there. But until then, take care and cue the music.